So you think you finally figured out the solution for this painful problem that you keep experiencing. And then it's about 1, 2, maybe even 3 in the morning. You wake up with asking yourself, but how am I going to do this? And then how am I going to do that? And then what about this? hmm Hows will keep you stuck in your personal hell. Or you're trying to figure out, why do you keep going through the same challenge again and again? Maybe it's different people, maybe it's different experiences, but at the core, it's still the same type of pain. That's because you've confused the destination with the journey. And then the very last one, you've got to ask questions. You've got to seek more information. But are you asking questions to find flaws, or to seek the wisdom of what's going to work the very best for you? These are three of the questions that potential clients, current clients, have asked me just in the last few days. Welcome to Ask Me Anything for Your Success, where I am going to give you insight on what you need to know about who you really are and what you can achieve, that potential you can turn on. So I'm going to give you that insight so you can get to where you want to go faster, quicker, and easier than ever before. If this is the first time in my world, Dawn Ferguson, certified hypnotist, instructor, rapid results coach. Woohoo! I got initials behind my name. What does all of that mean? It means I know how to take you from where you are to where you want to be as quick as possible, because your very powerful part of your mind, known as the subconscious, that runs all of your habits and patterns, and success or failure is simply just a repeated habit and pattern. It does not take very long to learn. In fact, you go through an intense emotional experience once, it then creates what's known as an imprint. An imprint is a filter that then says, oh, we need to be seeking out additional experiences like this. It doesn't matter if the experience and the emotion attached to it was pain or progress. The subconscious just seeks out emotional states, because that's the juice, that's the energy, that's the electricity that it has to have in order to run. So it's just seeking out what it's been programmed and conditioned to experience by the intense imprints that you've had in the past. But for most people, these imprints were very painful. Well, what do we do with that? We got to give the pain a purpose. You give the pain a purpose, and then that's when it'll start moving into progress for you, seeking out the people, places, and things for you to be able to experience rapid results. Okay, so let's go over that very first question. By the way, if you're joining me live, you have the ability to ask me any questions about what it is that I'm sharing with you. And if I cannot get to the question during this broadcast, then what I'll do is I'll do my best to get it answered in the comments afterwards. How am I going to do this? How keep you stuck in personal hell? Because it's never ending. You think you figured out the solution one way, and then it's going, yeah, but then here's the next thing that's going to come up. And then here's the next thing. And then here's the next thing. Because the subconscious, the highest brainwave state it has is curiosity. It wants to explore these different things. But the subconscious says you can explore it one of two ways. You can either explore it mentally, or you can explore it physically. And this is what gets that mental chatter, or what I like to call the itty bitty shitty committee, to shut up. Is that once you have developed a how, you have to start implementing it. You have to start taking action on it. In fact, within 24 hours. Now, a lot of people confuse strategies and tactics. Strategy is an overall plan. Tactics are the steps that it takes to fulfill that plan of getting you to your goal, turning that dream into reality. The strategy never changes. That goal, that end result, you're going to find a way to get there. But the tactics are going to have to be consistently and constantly upgraded. What works today may not work tomorrow. And what works tomorrow isn't going to work the day after that. In fact, 80% of what you do, if you try to sustain it, will fail you. Only 20% will work long term. That's 1 out of 5 actions. That means that you're going to have to be taking a lot of activity in, as far as, okay, I'm going to try this, I'm going to do that, to find out what works and then what doesn't. We go by, in our business, by what's known as www.ebi.ok. What's working well? Even better if. Okay, so the reason why you get stuck in the hows is because of what's known as a subconscious scotoma. A subconscious scotoma is a fancy word for blind spot. You can't see how to answer all the hows because you haven't earned the right. The subconscious says, if you want tactics, we can either come up with them mentally or physically. Physically is what's going to get you the goals, the dreams turned into reality. Mentally is going to lead you from one rabbit hole to the next, to the next. The subconscious says you have to earn the right to upgrade your beliefs about what you can have in your life. And the only way you can do that after age 8 to 13 is through consistent implementation. So you want to be able to see the next how of doing something, act on what you've got going on right now. I had a couple of potential clients that have reached out to me in the last couple of weeks. You may have heard me speak about them on another broadcast. And I gave both of them some very simple implementation exercises. And I said, do this for 5 days. And after those 5 days, give me a call back, and then we'll see about working together. Guess what? Day 2, they quit. So there's nothing I can do to keep their momentum from moving forward, going, unless they're able to act on the very simple. Then we get to the complex. But their powerful mind has learned to sabotage them by trying to do the complex first, and that keeps them stuck in their familiar zone. Some people call it a comfort zone. There's nothing comfortable about being stuck and struggling. But the pain that they know is better than the pain of potential failure. There's nothing I can do to get them out of that. The leaders that I work with know that they can sustain something for at least 5 days, and then we can start looking at why have they been self-sabotaging, because every self-sabotage activity you have gets a need met. So symptoms have purpose in order to protect you. You've got an emotional wound, and then you've got a belief that you can't have more, that you're not worthy, that you're not deserving. And so all the sabotage leads to that. In order to break you free from it, you need to start implementing and taking action on what you need, and what you know you need to be doing today. It doesn't matter how simple the step is, because the subconscious does not judge anything as being really large or being really small. It just says, are you going to take the action consistently and prove to me that you should have the right to see what your next step is going to be? Okay. So, but how am I going to do this? Start acting on what you know you should be doing now, and then we'll be looking at how to answer the next how. How long is that going to take you? Approximately 21 days. 21 days of consistency, and then you're going to be able to see the next step. Do it for 5, and then you can reach out to me. All right. I can't believe I keep going through this same situation. Why am I so stuck? That's somebody I talked to just yesterday. Well, that's because you've confused the destination with the journey. See, you're not going through something, you're going to someone. And who you're going to is who you really are. So the destination isn't the bank account balance. It's not the relationship, the brand new car, the bigger house, the better job. The destination is revealing the real you. Those are all things where you can then see them as key performance indicators of your progress. KPIs, they're milestones. So you get the job. Great. That means that you've revealed yourself at the level that you needed to be, that identity to have that job. You've got that great loving relationship. That's because you brought who you really are to it. The car, the nicer house, all of that is simply results of you revealing who you really are. But here's the challenge with that. You've got bad beliefs that you took on before age 8. In fact, we're told that 80% of what we believe we can achieve in life was learned by age 8. So we've got that, the beliefs that aren't there to support you. You've got the motivators, and there's 5 of them. They're known as status, control, freedom, relationships, justice, and freedom. Those 5 motivators, you have been programmed to be motivated to make that all happen for someone else, not yourself. And then you've got the symptoms that show up as far as bad habits, and you're using bad habits to say, this is how I soothe myself. This is how I distract myself. This is how I get attention. And this is how I get you to take care of me. Success is not complicated, but we are. So we have all of this. It's what is known as your pyramid of identity. So the very first thing that we have to do on the pyramid, hang on just a second, I got to check myself on the time. Whew, I'm good. I've got someone that I need to be talking to in about 15 minutes. I want to give you what you need, but I also need to be there for people who are investing in their next level. Okay, so the very first thing that you have to do on the pyramid of identity, you need to get into action. See, there's 3 types of actions. There's tension avoiding, pleasure producing, and goal achieving. Tension avoiding is how you use those symptoms to keep from moving forward. Then you got pleasure producing. This is how you pat yourself on the back for a great job. Later on today, I'm going to get a massage. Why? Because I earned it through my high intensity interval training that I've been participating in the last 3 weeks. I'm not getting it just to have it. I had to earn the right to be able to do it. Okay. And then you've got goal achieving. Goal achieving should take up 80% of your day. Here's where the myth comes in. People go, oh, follow your bliss and everything can happen because you're following your bliss. And that's BS. Follow your bliss right into bankruptcy. Goal achieving does not help you feel better in the moment because you're challenging yourself. So goal achieving works afterwards. Okay, Rachna, hey, great for joining me. I see your question. Can hypnosis help speed up the process that consistent action is supposed to embed in your head? Hypnosis can reroute around the self-sabotage, but there's still going to have to be consistent action. I can't hypnotize you to be your ideal weight. What I can do is I can work with hypnosis to say, you're going to be taking the action, whether it's an exercise or food, to reveal who you really are, that goddess body. That's what hypnosis will do, but you're still going to have to implement to be able to achieve those results. So if that answers your question, great, let me know. If not, ask for some clarification on it. Okay. So we've got the physical level, goal achieving, which is 80% of your day, is not supposed to feel good. It's just like when you're working out and you're building a muscle. That muscle, to get stronger, has to be challenged. You have to be challenged. You have no idea of your potential and what you can actually achieve, because whenever you start getting into the fear of failure, you pull back. So the idea is to actually use hypnosis to give you what's known as an authoritative post-hypnotic. That's a fancy term that says a tool that whenever the fear hits, you convert it into extra energy for success. When the fear hits, it actually gives you focus on who you need to be in order to turn those dreams into reality. That whenever the fear hits, you're going to optimize those triggers to bring yourself out at your very best. So that's what you have to work on to start with. Then after that, we move into the motivators, because the motivators are what are going to continue to keep you moving forward. How are you going to get status with this? How is this dream going to lead into more control for you? What is the freedom that this next level is going to reveal for you? How are your relationships going to improve? Because we all know you're going to do more for others than you're going to do for yourself. And lastly, justice. How is the world going to be a better place because you're better? So we look at those motivators that are actually sub aspects of your personality. They act independently of what your conscious mind will do. We have a conversation with them. That's why I love hypnosis, is we have a conversation with them and we see how you've been programmed to be motivated to make someone else's dreams turn into reality, and then hoping you'll get a few scraps left over once they get what they want. And we know that's not how the world works, because givers, when they give dysfunctionally, attract takers that will use you as the doormat for what it is that they want to experience. Okay. This is one of the reasons why you keep getting stuck in the same cycle, is because you've been programmed to make all of this happen for someone else, not your fault. But you have to take complete responsibility for being able to move forward. So what does that mean? That means that we have to move into the beliefs. And the beliefs are, who would you need to be in order to turn this dream into reality? Who would you need to be as far as your focus, as far as what you're feeling, as far as your consistent implementation? This is your identity upgrade. By the way, it takes 91 days for an identity upgrade. It takes 21 days to begin to build momentum on your habits and patterns. It takes 66 days for you to begin to feel like, oh, this is happening automatically for me. But it takes 91 days for you to reveal who you really are and the potential. Most people quit in the first 72 hours. That's not acceptable anymore. You have got the capacity to make the world a better place, but it's only going to be better because you're better. And I know people will be saying, oh, I always feel like I'm never enough. Congratulations, you're never supposed to be enough. Have you ever seen a flower go, oh, I bloomed once, best not bloom again? No, it seeks how to multiply those blooms. And if it happens to be a bulb, how it can split and produce even more. All right. Kimberly says, I'm getting ready to break a very long cycle with a narcissist, dealing with low self-esteem, fear of failure, and self-doubt, debilitating exhaustion every day. I need to find me. You're already present. Kimberly, I'm here to tell you that you're already present. You're experiencing this exhaustion. It's known as decision exhaustion, because you are making decisions every day based on what others need, instead of saying, I need to experience this decision for me. What is going to bring me out at my very best? Start small, Kimberly. Start with consistent actions every single day that's going to bring you out at your very best. And I would highly recommend you do that, not in the relationship, because it's what's known as 5 to thrive. We have finances, we have health, we have relationships, we have career, and then we have untapped potential. They build one on top of the other. First, you want to look at, are your finances where they need to be in order to get out of this relationship? And if they are, great. Then you can move into getting yourself physically stronger. Why is that? Because our emotions go along with our body. And if our body is physically stronger, then we'll be able to handle stronger emotions. And if we're physically weak, we can't handle the toll those emotions are taking on us. I hope that gave you at least some beginning ideas on how you can start moving moving forward. But know that that goddess within, in my world, all women are goddess, all men are Adonis. Kimberly, that goddess is already present. She's already at the surface. She just needs you to be consistent with your actions for her to come out. Okay. Whew. I think I might have answered what we were looking at. Is I can't believe I keep going through the same thing. It's because you are programmed to find people, places, and things to go along with the original imprint of this is who you need to be for other people, instead of saying, I'm not going through, I'm going to. I'm giving my pain a purpose. I'm going for that identity. And then my last question that I was asked, and this was just yesterday, and it was such a phenomenal question because I train others to do the same thing I do. Yeah, you could be sitting up here sharing this type of wisdom and giving purpose to people's pain so they can move into progress rapidly. And I have a brand new student who saw some things as far as what I was teaching, and then looked at our sanctioning body and said, do these match up? And so she was questioning me on them. You will hear me say, you always have to question. You always must test. But I had to ask her, are you questioning to find flaws or to seek why I'm doing the things that I do, seeking that wisdom? Because we've all been taught to find the flaws. And when we find the flaws, it gives us a level of superiority. Oh, look at me. I'm better than others because I found the breakdown. No, you just found how it wasn't working. You didn't find the solution. The solution comes first through knowledge of why something is being done, and then the implementation to make it better. And you make it better by learning what's going to fail, because it's failure that brings you wisdom, and then what's going to work even better here. So keep this in mind. Whomever controls the questions controls the emotions. Whomever controls the emotions controls the outcome. Is it your painful past? Is that identity controlling the questions of, let me just find everything that's wrong with me, find everything that's wrong with this situation? Or is it that potential you, that future you that says, oh my gosh, these are the questions that we want to be asking to see how we can pull ourselves forward. Success, the universe wants you to be a success because that's how the universe thrives. We get to choose, though. We are the only life form that we know of that gets to choose, how do we want to be a success? Do we want to do it with outrageous progress, or do we want to be the poster child for failure? Because that's still a success with the subconscious mind. Either way. So look at how you're asking the questions. Are you asking questions to find out what's working well and how you can make it even better? Or are you asking questions just to tear things down so you can feel that you're higher? And it's not your fault. You were programmed to do that, but now it's time to upgrade that conditioning. By the way, if this makes sense and you want to see if I might be the one to assist you, this is what you can do. Reach out to me by text 636-699-7791. Put consult and Dawn, because you can just put consult and you'll get one of my associates, which is fine because I've trained all of them. But if you want to work with the person who developed this wound to wealth system, then you're going to want to talk to me personally. Now, if you want more information on that, you can also go to canhypnosishelpyou.com and see everything that hypnosis can assist you with. Then I've got one other thing for you. If you say, maybe I should explore not only how to heal myself, but how to be able to do this for others, then go to isch4u.com and see if maybe my certification in identity upgrades is exactly what you're looking at, not only for you to become the leader in your own life, but for you to be able to lead others, not to create followers, but to create other leaders. Okay, wrapping this up with your plan of action. You are stuck in your personal hell by continuing to ask how questions. Start implementing based on that 5 to Thrive I gave you. Then after this, I can't believe I keep going through this. I'm stuck. That's because you've confused the destination, which is revealing the real you, that identity that is present, with the journey. And the journey is going through failure, giving that pain a purpose, and then stepping into the next level to lead. And then the last thing, the questions you ask should be seeking what's working well, how do we make it even better? Thank you for the honor of serving you today, and I look forward to talking to you personally on how to break free into your next level of success. Blessings on your brilliance. Bye now.